Candice, thank you so much for your time. Heaps of horses on Met Day, as you'd expect. Kick off with Churchillian, race number 1, full brother to Master Archie. Had a gallop 10 days before race day. Looked good, but on debut, what's the expectations?
It's always hard to say on debut. You know, he is a nice horse, but obviously he's taking on a decent field first time out. He's not just in your average maiden race. So, yeah, I can't say I expect him to win first time out. I think he'll run a nice race, but my babies are not wound up enough for me to be able to say to you, I think, you know, they'll have a good winning chance first time out. But as I say, it's a nice colt and he'll run a decent race, but it's a tough race to come out first time in.
What about the stable companion, number 7, What's a Star? 2 good seconds, look like she's banging at the door?
Yeah, she's banging at the door. She looks probably held at the weights with some of these horses that have beaten her before. We're not getting any weight from them. We're running level weight, so she's going to have to step up a little bit today, but she's a nice filly and she's doing well enough, so possibly a money chance.
2 runners in the first grade 1, the main chance Majorca stakes. Let's start with number 3, Rocker Pina. She looks like she's a superior sprinter, very, very good sprinter in the makings. How's she going to go over a mile?
That is the question mark. Obviously trying the mile for the first time. I actually don't know what she's going to do over the mile. Covenant, same type of filly. You know, she was also a very good sprinting filly and she ended up winning the Majorca stakes. So I guess we're just giving it a bash. She's a very talented filly. She's got a lot of ability, but obviously the mile's going to be a question mark. I think if she stays the mile, she may well give them a run for their money.
Scarlett McCall showed her mettle last time in the grade 1.
You know, she's such a game little filly. She ran a great race in the Fillies Guineas. She surprised everybody there. She's just been a filly that's improving all the time. Obviously taking on a small field, but a tougher field this time. Justin's filly at weight for age terms looks quite hard to beat, and obviously she's taking on Fatal Flaw again. But she's a trier, and she may well also be in the money.
2 lively runners on our panel discussion. Robert Bloomberg likes both your runners in race 3. Let's start with number 7, Rainbow Lorikeet, just coming of age.
Yeah, she is, and you know, she's also such an honest filly. She'll enjoy this trip. I actually think it ended up being a nice type of race for her. There's nothing that really stands out in there. I think Andre Nell's filly and 1 or 2 at the bottom of the weights there, but you know, that last run of hers was a very good run in a strong race in the Paddock Stakes. So I think she'll certainly have a good chance there. She's not that badly in at the weight, so yeah, I think she's probably my best runner on the day.
And then number 9, Gold Poker Game's got to be alive as well. Although winning doesn't come easy, consistency does.
She's very consistent. She's just off those top fillies. You know, she always is just like in a 4th or 5th. She's running on well in the race, but I think, you know, she's a filly that I didn't really know which race to run in. The Majorca, I think, is just a touch on the strong side for her, but probably a better trip for her. The 2,000 meters is stretching her a little bit. I think it's not her optimum distance, but again, she's a consistent filly and she's never far off it.
3 runners in the SABC Olympic Duel. Let's start with number 1, Nordic Quest. Alda de Meyer takes a ride. This is her biggest test, but it looks like she's on the way in the right direction.
She's just been off those fillies in the last 2 feature races. I see her Pombili and that. She's that type of filly. She's not quite up with those fillies. She's just off them. She's drawn quite nicely, so look, she'll be thereabouts. But I think it's a tough race for. I think she needs to step up a little bit here. Symphony in White, probably my best run out of the 3. She's certainly got the best form. Only thing is the draw concerns me a little bit because she's the type of filly that needs to have cover and she needs to be sat on a little longer. Last time that didn't work out in her favour, and again from a 16 draw, I don't know where Raymond's going to find his cover, but he's going to have to find somewhere. But she's fitting well. As I say, she's probably the best filly in the race, so she must be included. And the other filly, Kailami Girl, she's having to step up. First time that she's taking on a field of this caliber. I think she needs to show a little improvement. Then
onto the Hong Kong Jockey Club Whirlpool Cape Flying Championship number 1, Future Variety. He's shown his worth at a high level before, just being touched off by Thunderstrike in the Diadem about 11 months ago. You almost feel that the better the opposition, the better he runs.
Yeah, you know, I think he got a little bit nailed in the ratings, and it's been a little tough for him to try and get back to where he is, having to give weight most of the time. Obviously, you know, back to level weight terms. Yeah, I don't know, he's been a little bit difficult for me this season. I haven't quite got on top of him like I had last season. His runs haven't been bad at all. I think he'll prefer the 1,000 meters, but again, a big field. It's a strong race, open race. He's drawn 1 also. You know, he likes to have a little bit of a chance out. Just at the moment, they're all crowding that outside fence. Hopefully he'll be able to get a run from there, but he's doing well, Alistair, and as I say, whether he's good enough to win at these weight terms, I'm not sure, but he shouldn't be too far off.
Then onto the politician. A lot of horses interest people. One of those is number 8, Major Master from your yard. Beautiful Son of Master of My Fate, going a distance that should suit. Where's he at?
Yeah, he'll definitely enjoy the trip. You know, he's a horse that's improving all the time, and I think you'll probably see the best of him next year. Still a little bit early for him, but he put up a nice gallop at Kenilworth the other day. Obviously, those two horses that are drawn a little bit wide, Garrix and Cells, he's going to be tough horses to beat, I think, at the weights, but he's getting a bit of weight from them, and I definitely don't think he'll be too far off them, and I think he's the kind of horse, if you're doing pick sixes and things and exotics, I would include him.
Now onto the home straight. Race 10, number 8, King's Quest, also going in the right direction.
Yeah, obviously coming off his maiden win, taking on a fairly strong field and a big field, first run out the maidens, which is never really easy. I think he's the kind of horse that might prefer a mile. 14 might be a touch on the sharp side for him, but he won his maiden. He's always shown us quite a bit at home. It's always difficult for me to assess his chances first run out the maidens, especially in a field like this. Had it been just a normal field with a smallish field, then I could have been a little bit more confident, but it's hard to assess his chances here, but I think he'll run a decent race.
Penultimate race, one of the stable stars, one of the favourites of the yard. Number 1, Sugar Mountain, always punches above his weight. Lovely run in the Met last year. This is no Met, probably a better trip.
Yeah, he's such a versatile horse when it comes to trip. Last time out he was drawn badly and such a strung out field, and he really had no chance of doing anything, so I think you can put a line through that. Hopefully I've freshened him up enough to bring him back to a 1400. He's drawn well this time, but again, none of these races are easy on Met Day. It's a tough race, but a slightly easier race for him actually, and I think if they go, there's the two horses in the Futurist, and I think there's, and obviously Justin's horse, there's going to be a decent pace on, so I think he might enjoy that, coming from off them a little bit.
And then 3 runners on the last after 1 scratching. Sundays, you got number 1 on the card with Rougeroon and also Empire State. How do you split them?
Yeah, Sundays, I think he needs to improve a little bit to feature in a field like this. I think it might be a little bit strong for him. He's come down quite a bit in the ratings, but I think probably needs to come down a little bit more to be competitive. Rougeroon, he's really improved now that the last couple of months or so, he's looking exceptionally well at the moment, but again, comes out of a class 5 into moving up into quite a strong field this time, so it might be a little bit tough for him. He has got a nice galloping weight, so perhaps a quartet chance. And the other horse, big weight, he's got 62.5. It's not easy to carry that weight. I've brought him back from he ran over a mile last time. I don't really think he sees out the mile. I think he's more of a 1400 meter horse, but there was an option of the 1400 or the 1200, and he had, you know, big weights in both of them. So we opted to try the 1200. He's a nice horse, Alice. I think he's probably going to need gelding in the future, and obviously not 100% sure how he's going to go over the 1200, but he's doing well enough, and I think you should quite enjoy having a sprint back.
Candice, thank you for having us.
Pleasure, thank you.